So let us discuss the file structure, or to be more specific, the folder structure of our project or web application PostIt that we are about to build. So the name of the project is on the top. Right now it is PostIt 7, and in this project you have two folders. One folder is the client folder, in which we will keep all the files related to the client side, and the second folder is server folder, and in this we will keep all the files and folders linked to the files which are to be executed on the server. So if we just expand our client folder, we have a folder node modules, and this folder contains all the packages that have been installed for this client side project, and you need not access this folder. Please don't open this folder or modify anything from this folder. Then leave your public folder also, let it be untouched, and focus on this source folder. Okay, so inside this source folder we have one folder called components folder, and this folder will have all the components that we will that the user will be interacting with. So for example, we have a folder called header. Okay, now this component, when the user logs in, what you see on the top of your application, this is your output of this header component, which displays the icon for the app, logo for the app, and the navigation link like home, profile, which displays the profile, and the logout link, right? Okay, and we have a footer component. So footer component is that something which is displayed at the bottom of the application. So you can see here, this is the footer, which displays the email ID of the developer and copyright information and some other text that you want to display in the footer. Okay, and if you see the other component, for example, the register component. Okay, so when you open your application, you see two things. One is the login component, and second is the link to the register component. So before even the user logs in, the user has to register. So when you click here, sign up now, so this is the register component which allows the user to register. Okay, and once the user registers, then this component, which is login component, you can see here this login component, this is the component which displays the form where the user can enter the email and the password to log in into the system. Then we have a component called let's say share post component. Okay, this component, when you log in, this component share post is this component what you see here. This component provides one text area where you can write some post and a button for posting the post. And then we have a component called posts, and this component is what you see here. It shows the list of all the posts made by different users in this system. So you can see here this post is a message hi, and it was posted an hour ago, when it was posted, and who posted it, email ID of the user who posted it, and this is the ID of the record, not so important. Okay, and I mean no need to display this ID, but internally it has a use. And this is the like button, so whenever somebody makes a post, the user has the option to like or dislike this post, right? So if he clicks it once, it will be liked. If he clicks it again, this will be liked. So this whole is what you're seeing here, list of posts that is being displayed by the component posts. Then you have a component called the profile component, and this component allows the user to modify the user profile. Okay, before you see the option to modify the profile, I would like to discuss the user component, which displays the profile of the user. So if you click here, Okay, on this side of this application you see the image. Okay, right now this is the dummy image. So name of the logged in user, the email of the logged in user, this is coming from the user component. Okay, and the user component also calls another component called the location component. The purpose of location component is to get the IP of the logged in user. Okay, and based on the IP user get some information like the country, region and time zone of the user. Okay, so in which from which country the user is accessing this website. So you can see here this location component is called by the user component, and this is what you see here, the location details of the user. So what the information I have highlighted, it is coming from the location component which is being called by the user component, right? So okay, then we have a home component. So in the home component basically it is calling different components. So if you see here in the home component, it consists of this user component. Okay, it is displaying the user component which shows information about the user. It shows the shared post component which is allows you to post these comments, and it shows the post component which is the list of all the posts made by various components. So basically home component is displaying the three components: user component, shared post component and the post component. Okay, okay, so this is all about the main components, and if we have to add some more components we will see as we develop our application. And then we have folder features. In this we have two files, something linked to the concept of slices. So these we will discuss as we proceed in this course. We will discuss about what are slices. Okay, and this is the images folder. In this we will have all the images that we need in this application. Okay, some images we may be storing on the server, but some frequently used images like logo and these type of things we will keep inside the client folder so that we can easily access them and the loading is fast. And we also have a folder called store. Again, this is linked to something concept called Redux store. So right now we cannot discuss these concepts. So when we study about this topic, at that time we will explain the coding and everything about this, what is store. Okay, similarly we have one folder validations. In this we can have some validation rules, and this validation rules like for name, for email and for password, for various things we can define all our validations rule here. And then when we use our forms, register form or login form or post form, the validation rules can be accessed from this file or some more files in this validations folder. So this also, when we study validations, we will cover in detail, right? And then we have a file called app.js. Actually this is the file from where the execution will start. Okay, so in this app.js file, okay, this is the file, the starting point, the main component of the application is app.js actually. And in this we specify the, like for example we are specifying the header, we are calling the header component here, right? Then in the last row we are calling the footer component. You can see here this footer component is being called here, right? And inside this we will be displaying in between header and footer, we will be displaying various components like the login component, like the login button and option to modify the profile and the registration form and all those things. Whatever has to be displayed, that will be displayed in between the header and the footer, right? So we will discuss about this file in detail in the next videos. Okay, and this is the app.css is your styling for your components. So you can have a common file for styling, or we can style every component independently. Okay, so this is about the uh, this files and folders inside the source component. And of course we have one file called package.json in the client folder also, and this file displays the list of various packages that this application is using. Okay, so if you want to see whether some packages installed or not, or which packages you are using, you can come and you can see those packages here, right? So we'll talk about packages also in the subsequent lectures. So this was about the client folder, right? And then on the server side, for the server side, we have a server folder. Inside the server folder, we have one main file called index.js. Okay, and this is the file on the server, entry point in the server. All the requests that will be made from the client, okay, will be made to this file index.js. Okay, so just imagine this index.js is your kind of a server file which is listening to your request, whether to register something, whether login, whether to display some information from the database. All the requests will be received by index.js, right? And again, this node modules folder, just like client folder, here also you have node modules folder, and inside this you have a list of all the modules or packages which are needed by the server side. Okay, and again here also, just like client folder, you have a folder package.json which will show the list of all the packages that this application is using. Okay, and on the server we have a folder called models, and these models basically define the structure or the schema of the collections, or what we call tables in the relational database. So these models will have schema for the collections that we will create inside the MongoDB, right? So this was all about the our folder structure for our application, and we will discuss all these files and components one by one in our subsequent chapters. Thank you.